vacham mukham padam stambhay jeevhwam keelaye buddhim vinashaya Hleem swaha. Hi everyone. That was the Baglamukhi mantra. She is one of the 10 Mahavidyas. And interestingly, when I first heard of her, I was walking around this community where I live, and there are some signs for cars and other vehicles. We have golf carts because people love golf here. And one day I was just so drawn to the stop sign, which is like a eight-sided, I think it's called a hectagon. And then I learned that there is a goddess devoted to stopping, you know, negative thoughts. And it really does work for me when I connect to the mantra, connect to the energy. And we are so fortunate that David R. Kinsley wrote an entire academic book about this subject because, as you guys may or may not have heard, in the US there is currently a crackdown on people with visas, with green cards. If they speak about certain issues, they will get kicked out of the country, which is quite effed up if you ask me. I am able to speak on certain sensitive topics, and if you're interested, you can leave comments down below, like what you're interested in. But yeah, for today, we will talk about the Mahavidya who is most consistently associated with magical powers is Baglamukhi. The Baglamukhi Rahasya says that she is worshipped for paralyzing, eradication, and control over the planets. Different recipes are given to achieve these different powers. The importance of magical powers in the worship of the Mahavidyas might be understood from at least 2 points of view. First, and perhaps obviously, worship generally can be prompted by specific desires, frustrations, and needs. A deity is approached for help. In this sense, it is not surprising to find that Mahavidyas associated with granting a range of blessings and powers are approached. Other deities also bestow a variety of blessings. Adrash Raj says hello. Hi. Okay. Other deities also bestow a variety of blessings, including magical powers. Second, the adept worships the Mahavidyas by developing and employing mental capacities through meditation. Tantric yoga is supposed to awaken one's consciousness, to expand and intensify it. That magical powers, as well as transformative wisdom, might be associated with this process is understandable, and many of the magical powers that are specified relate directly to mental powers. In exploring and expanding one's consciousness, one discovers new dimensions to one's psychic capacities. Like the Kundalini serpent rising and awakening the chakras, causing the lotuses to bloom, the adept awakens aspects or dimensions of her consciousness and realizes that her mental or psychic capacities are much greater than what she might have imagined. Insofar as Mahavidyas might be thought of as aspects or stages of consciousness in the spiritual quest, the association of siddhis with them is not surprising. AK Blaze says, hello. I was the first one to like. Thanks. The significance of the term Mahavidya. A literal translation of the term Mahavidya is great knowledge, while a somewhat less literal translation might be supreme or superior knowledge or wisdom. There are several possibilities for what the name tells us about the nature and function of the Mahavidyas. It is not obvious why these 10 goddesses should have been so designated, but several explanations are possible. I was told that Dasha Mahavidya, as it applies to the 10 goddesses, is technical and means 10 great mantras. In his commentary on Lalita Sahasranama, Bhaskarya says the difference between mantra and vidya that the former has reference to male deities and the latter to female ones. Indeed, the first order of business in many tantric texts that discuss or describe the Mahavidyas is to give their mantras, which consist of a few syllables. The mantra, it is often said, is highly secret and extremely powerful. So yeah, if you don't have Diksha, like permission, don't copy it, or you can do it at your own risk. It is given in the tantric context, in fact, that the mantra is identical with the goddess. It is not that the mantra belongs to the goddess, which is the way one is often tempted to understand the relationship between deity and mantra. The situation, rather, is that the mantra is the goddess. The essence of a mantra is the presence of the deity. Only that mantra is in which the devta has revealed her aspects or his aspects can reveal. The deity is believed to appear from the mantra when it is correctly pronounced. There is a long-standing tradition in Hinduism that sound is essence of reality. The idea of Shabda Brahman is ancient. Ultimate reality in its most essential form is expressed in sound. Philosophical schools of great sophistication are based on theories of sound and vibration as the essential and basic constituents of reality. Related to this emphasis on the priority of sound as basic to the nature of ultimate reality is the equally ancient emphasis in Hinduism on potency of mantras or sacred utterances. Mantras that a sadhaka receives from her guru are secret and regarded as powerful. The mantra of a goddess, for example, is transmitted from the guru in a ritual. The guru has chosen the particular mantra as suitable to the adept. Despite the impression that mantras are public because they are printed in editions of Tantra and that one might freely invoke them for their effect, mantras are in fact transmitted by a spiritual master during supervised spiritual undertaking. The idea then that the 10 goddesses who constitute the Mahavidyas are essentially 10 mantras, and that the term Dasha Mahavidya may literally mean the 10 great mantras is understandable. What is also significant is that the goddess who is the mantra appears or exists only when the mantra is invoked. She remains in latent form until a particular adept invokes her through the mantra that is her animating essence. It is in this sense, perhaps, that the emphasis upon the adept and the goddess being one might be understood in the tantric context. One cannot and does not exist without the other. It is difficult, however, to leave the matter of the term Mahavidya here. The term Vidya means knowledge and can refer to practical knowledge, knowledge of arts and sciences, or transformative knowledge. The name, then, according to some, is related to the idea that the 10 goddesses bestow or reveal certain types of knowledge. One contemporary scholar says, the Mahavidyas are the representatives of transcendent knowledge and power, the sources of all that is to be known. Another scholar refers to the Mahavidyas as 10 objects of transcendental knowledge, signifying the various degrees and stages of existence. Sources of all that is to be known. Yet another scholar maintains that Mahadevi causes bondage and in this capacity is referred to as avidya, but that she also causes liberation and in this capacity is referred to as vidya. The 10 Mahavidyas then are 10 forms in which the goddess brings about enlightenment by means of liberating knowledge. Each of these interpretations of the term Mahavidya goes beyond the technical meaning of mantra to apply the more encompassing meaning knowledge to the 10 goddesses. Viewing the goddesses as those who grant great knowledge or wisdom is in keeping with the general association between goddesses and knowledge throughout Shakta literature. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. We'll continue next time. Thanks.